It's August 2013 and I thought I'd give you a walk around my geodesic dome. It's one I built myself using 10mm polycarbonate ply. It's basically a load of triangles in the shape of pentagons and hexagons. It has some thermostatic control to keep it getting too hot, and it never gets above 40, and it stays between 20 and that most of the time. Right now, as you can see, it's 29 degrees. It consists of what I've got in here is two ponds. Each of those widths is about 0.8 of a metre. So this pond here is about 2.5 metres long. It's 0.8 front to back, and it's about a foot deep. This pond is fed by a waterfall from the shallow pond. Which itself is fed by a pump that's inside this box here. This has got the filter box, massive filter, pumps water, not at great speed but enough to circulate the water effectively into here. Nice shallow area, lovely plant area for the little animals to hide if they want. Underneath there's a tunnel. They can walk underneath the cactus into this soil section. The back is raised, so if they want to go digging and planting eggs, they can do. That itself is connected to another plant area, but with different plants. This has got plants with big leaves and somewhere for them to hide if they want to come out in a bit of privacy. They can then get into the shallow pond, which is itself only about 6 inches deep. I have in here the smaller spotted turtles. Well, I have in here. They've chosen to stay here and don't really venture out much very often, but they do venture out. Sometimes they decide they want to hide under the leaves. I've got a UV heat lamp which is available to them in spring and maybe in the autumn when it gets a bit cool, and they do use it mostly for the heat. The glass here transmits UV lamp, and it's seasonal when they use this. In the spring you'll see them using it, but right now in the summer when it's warm in here they don't need to sunbathe that much. The bigger animals are here. And you can see that they're very, very well hidden, as they would be in the wild. This is just the sort of environment they have in the wild. And shallow waters that don't need much swimming, more of a climbing type stuff that they do. As you can see, the plants just thrive in here. They do really well. Lots and lots of deliberately introduced hidey holes in there, upturned plant pots so that they can hide from each other. There's four adults in there, and maybe a baby if it's walked across from the other side. There might be one in there. There might be one hiding under the leaves, and I've got about 6 or 7 in there, juvenile 2 or 3 year olds. And when it's feeding time, these guys like to actually walk across the lilies because it's quite light and it's quite shallow. And there's one that you can see, and there's another one. I feed them every 2 or 3 days. It's not a daily routine, although they get tricks and treats. Lots and lots of cubby holes in there. Under the ramps I've got seed trays stacked up against each other there so they can get under the seed trays. And there's a cheeky chap wants to know where the heck is my food. These really are inquisitive little animals. They want to know what's happening. and they want to know why they're not being fed. I love them. Plant life here is very, very successful. Stuff that's died in the house I've brought back in here, like this thing here, that died at home, and within 2 or 3 months it had, well, gone like you can see. It's flowering beautifully. The lime tree's got limes on it, but it's got some scale on it, which is horrible. The ginger plant is flowering. Strelitzia's growing. It's not flowered yet, but it will do. And of course the cactus are doing very well. It's a lovely environment. If I was ever going to have one container for keeping turtles or other animals, it would be like this. This is brilliant. Plenty of light. Nice and warm. It doesn't freeze in the winter. Perfect.